guys, this is Sakina. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking on this video and thank you for subscribing if you've subscribed. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment down below. So today I would like to share with you my pregnancy and delivery story. You may be having your own story about the whole journey, but of course I would like to share with you mine. So please watch till the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not subscribed. It's a serious journey, and at some point it's fun in its own cause, as you realize in front there. I became pregnant in 2018, but I realized I was pregnant in 2018 August. I don't know whether it was the right time when I conceived or I miscounted the months, because if I count normally I produced at 7 months. If I count from August up to Feb, those are 7 months, meaning maybe I might have conceived in July. I'm sorry, but I'm not so certain when I conceived, but I just began counting my pregnancy days, like months, in August, because that's when I realized, how did I know that I was pregnant? I woke up this morning in August of 2018. I don't remember the exact date, but I woke up this morning and I felt like vomiting. In fact, I vomited. I felt a little bit sick that morning, and because I'd known, like studied about the signs of pregnancy, there's that morning sickness and vomiting. So I vomited. After vomiting, my health, that time I didn't feel so good. Yeah, my health was not so good. I felt sick that morning. So during there I went and bought a pregnancy strip. I bought a pregnancy strip and took a pregnancy test, and it showed positive results. But normally they say that you may not know that you're pregnant in the first weeks of pregnancy. You realize later, either 2 weeks or a month later. So I think maybe I might have conceived in July. I'm not certain, but maybe it was that. So after testing positive, I now knew I was pregnant, and that's the month I began counting. So I began counting from August. So I began counting my days from that day I tested positive, meaning I began counting my months from August. So after realizing I was pregnant, I began taking care of myself, of course, as a pregnant person, eating and all that. But what is so challenging is that my pregnancy didn't give me any, like, the things of wokuyoya, wanting to eat too much, either wanting to eat like how women can be there, they feel like eating matoke, maybe the kid pushes them to eating only potatoes, only what. It wasn't the case. Me, I was just normal. All I can say is that I was normal. I knew I was pregnant, but I was normal, like any other normal person. And what is so bad, I was just normal like another person. So in August, I realized I was pregnant in August. I got employed in September. Remember when I tested positive, I was staying with my husband because he could leave for work and then when I'm at home. So in September, I got employed in a different district, meaning I had to leave him, stay home, like work from home. He was coming from home to go and work, but I was now being given work in a different district. So in this district this new district, I began staying alone. But as you all know, staying alone is very hard. How hard is it? It's hard because you don't eat on time like how you can eat when you're 2 people or maybe 3. You eat when you feel like, and in most cases you feel so lazy to maybe cook, or even taking care of yourself is not so good when you're alone. It is better when you're maybe 2 or more people. I have that weakness. When I'm alone, I don't cook, because most cases I feel you may cook too much, you may cook too little, you may cook at the end of the day, you feel you don't have appetite for the food you've cooked. So those are the challenges I have. So when I began staying alone, remember I was pregnant, I was now going to stay alone, and I was working. The work I was doing, you wake up so early in the morning, 7:30, you should be on the way. At 8, you should be at work. Most cases, if you want overtime, you know this project works of hours are not easy. The more you wake up early and reach work early and begin working, there is that overtime. You're working because the normal time, the normal working hours were from 8 to 5 p.m. But if you're early enough, like at 6 to 7, then 7 to 8, there are those 2 hours now overtime. Then evening, if you work past 5, up to any time work gets done, most cases 7:30 or 8, depending on what work is there that time. All that is overtime and is calculated on your payment. So since I was staying alone, I used to wake up so early, reach work so early for overtime, and sometimes come home late in the evening because I never wanted to be so bored alone at home. So I could come home late, I could stay for overtime, come home late. And immediately, because I was staying in Chikomera, these enclosed houses where there were many people, of course, who were renting there. There were other ladies, men, and all that. So I could mind my business. I'm somebody who minds my business in a Kazigo by the I don't mind about the other person. Or when I come from work, I just know my room alone. Come from work like this, open, enter, and sleep. So I could, most cases, remember I was pregnant, but I was not eating like a pregnant person, not because I didn't have money, but I never had appetite. I don't know what happened. My kid didn't push me to eat too much. She pushed me to being normal, like anybody else. So sometimes I could come back from work, because at work I could have breakfast, lunch. But rice, I wasn't so much a fan of rice when I was pregnant. Up to now, I'm not so much good at eating rice. I don't like rice so much. So I could eat posho, beans, sometimes buy matoke, meat, all that. Sometimes I could come back from work in the evening, buy water and maybe daddies, enter my room, eat and sleep. I could sleep as early as 8 p.m. because I never wanted to be so bored. I'm not so much a fan of a TV, like watching TV. This is a story for another day, but I'm not too good at watching TV. Maybe these days I usually be on my phone, but that time I was not so much interested in maybe being so bored. So instead of sitting there and boring myself, I could just sleep up to morning, because sometimes when we are at work, our work is so tiring. So you come back when you're tired, eat what you eat, and sleep. And since I was alone, I didn't have any problem. Like maybe I could have to stay around, chat with somebody, or do whatever. I couldn't get out to chat with neighbors. Those who have rented on Buzigos, the things of chatting, so and so. Moruma can be too much in rentals. So to avoid all that, you have to mind your business and mind your room. I moved on well, but at work, I don't know what happens, but most cases, I know that it usually happens when on first pregnancies, but it is so, maybe it may be a trend, it may be so, I don't know what happens, but most cases during first pregnancies, some ladies feel so shy and lonely, and that affected me too. While at work, my stomach was small, but I used to feel lonely. I could isolate myself, sit alone, or maybe when I don't have work that time, I sleep. I was not so much interactive with people. But remember, I was the only one who knew that I was pregnant. Nobody else knew, since my stomach was small. So, and I was normal. I never used to fall like sick, sleep, or maybe eat too much. Or no, I didn't have all those things. In November, towards December, my legs began swelling. So when they began swelling, people began asking themselves, what's wrong with Sakina? Are you sick? You go to hospital, do what? But I knew. I knew what was wrong. So there was this one guy, some colleague of mine, when a vehicle now coming to work in the morning, we were talking about, there was some friend of mine who was also pregnant, some lady while at work. So he was talking about the other girl who was pregnant, and I also told him, do you know that I can be here, but when I'm also pregnant? He said, you're deceiving. I said, yeah, I may be here, but when I'm also pregnant. So this is something that's normal, because sometimes guys talk ill about ladies who are pregnant, yet it is normal. You can't avoid it. It is something so normal, and it can be anywhere. It can be at work. As long as you finish school, what else now? Of course, making a family. So this guy was talking so much about this lady, and when I told him that he couldn't believe, but I told him, by the way, I'm pregnant. He said, no, how come you're pregnant but you're still in my country? I told him, yeah, this is me, but I'm pregnant. he also told some of his friends at work. So when they realized I was pregnant, now the men at work began now showing some care to Sakina who was pregnant. In case there's something heavy to carry, they'll be like, no, don't carry. Yeah, you know how they began now showing some concern. But I felt out of place because we had some stubborn colleague of ours. Whenever I could be working, I come and say, oh, Mama Kalimund and whatever. I used to feel so shy about it. And sometimes I could blast him. Could be so serious and blast him and be like, go and tell your wife. Or whatever. I didn't want to be so inconvenienced. So whenever I could be working, or maybe we're going to eat, he could be like, oh, add her food. She's not one there too. I felt so bad. But I couldn't do anything because... But now, during this journey of mine, my people did not know, my relatives didn't know that I was pregnant. I had not told my mom about it because I had taken some time minus going home. And if it wasn't for my mom's sickness, they would have known when I delivered. But also God, I think, wanted my parents to know. So in December, towards the end of that pregnancy, some few months to deliver, my mom became ill. She became so ill, they brought her to Mbale Hospital. There's some hospital in Mbale.